Today we're going to use Nearpod to guide the lesson. Nearpod is a really cool platform that I like to incorporate when I want to see student responses right away, and this way you can also see the responses of your peers. When you log in, be sure to put your first and last name, and you do get credit for today's assignments. So the getting started activity is the Marigold's reading quiz. So make sure that you take some time and you complete this quiz. It is your first quiz of the year, and it will show me if you read Marigold yesterday for asynchronous learning. So I click on the minions, and then I would start the quiz. Now, the quiz is in locked mode, so you have to be using your Chromebook in order to take this quiz. So if you are not logged in on your Chromebook, you will not be able to take the quiz. Now, you need to do that. So be sure to log in using your school Chromebook. Okay, so after the quiz, let's go ahead and now look at the learning goal for the day. So today, Eagles will explain and describe the external conflict, the setting, the main character, and the internal conflict of your short story using collaborative discussion and academic language. So the whole key thing that I need you to pay attention to is this right here, your short story. So today you're going to start doing some brainstorming for your story that you're going to write for Embedded Assessment 1. So this is exciting. You're going to find out what external conflict you're going to use. You're going to think about the setting for your own short story, who will be your main character, and then what type of internal conflict will they be struggling with. So let's talk about your short story. Notice your short story. As you know, you will write a short story for the embedded assessment, right? So you will write one on your own. Your short story will be a form of a narrative, and narratives include made-up stories, fiction, as well as real-life stories, nonfiction. So that's kind of the first thing we need to figure out. Do you want to write a short story that is fictional, that comes from your imagination? Or if you would like to write a short story that it comes from a real-life event or a real-life experience? Decisions, right? So here's where we're going to go today. The first thing you're going to decide, number one, right? So is it going to be fictional? So it's fake, right? Made up from your imagination, or is it going to be nonfiction? It's real. It actually happened. The characters are real. The events are real. Number two, you're going to have to decide on your type of external conflict. Is it going to be character versus character, character versus nature, character versus society? You need to choose. The setting. Where will your story take place? I want to know from the beginning, where is the story taking place? What is the time period of your story? Next, you're going to decide on your character's name and some personality traits of your character. And then what type of internal conflict is your character struggling with? So these are the 5 aspects of your short story that we're going to do some pre-writing with today. Remember, based upon the rubric for Embedded Assessment 1, all of these things must be unified, right? So the external conflict must fit with the setting, must fit with the character's personality, and the internal conflict must fit with their personality as well. And it needs to go with the setting, right? Everything needs to be unified and goes well together. Which type of external conflict are you going to use in your story? So up here, right, an external conflict is between a character and an outside force. So not man literally, right? It doesn't have to be a man literally. This is just a generic form to call a human. So we could say human or character versus character, character versus nature, character versus society. Okay. And they don't even have to be humans, right? Your characters could be animals. Maybe they're dinosaurs. Maybe they are a made up creature. And then I would see all of your thoughts coming up here on my side. Okay, so I would be able to know right away which type of external conflict are you going to use in your story. All right, so now that you've decided on the type of external conflict you would like to use in your story, I want you to think about the setting for your story. Okay, so the setting is a particular place and time in which the events of a story occurs. Okay, so you have to start thinking. Now, there can be more than one setting in a single story. There could be many settings, but there's usually one main setting. So today what I want to do is find out, where does your story start, right? Where does your story begin? Your setting may be real or imagined. Events in a story may occur in the past, the present, or the future. Vivid descriptions help readers picture the setting in their minds. Setting can play an important role in what happens to characters and how they respond to situations. And a setting can be symbolic. And we can talk about this more later, right? Because we need to talk about symbolism more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the activity. And I want you to, again, come up with an idea of where your setting will be. I want to know, what is the year going to be? What is the time of day? Is it a town? Is it a city? Is it out in the desert? Is it in outer space? Okay, so you have 6 minutes to think about the setting of your story. Now, I do have a video for you to watch, and it talks all about settings. So we'll go ahead and watch that video. Let's go. Okay, so if you'd like to take some time on your own to watch this video about setting, you're more than welcome to. It's a pretty fun vocabulary video, so those are really entertaining. But as soon as students begin to answer this question, I would start seeing your responses here up on the screen. So that's exciting. Again, you have 6 minutes to complete that activity. We're going to go ahead and move on. Okay, so the last thing I want you to do today, and this is where you're going to be doing all of your brainstorming for your short story. So I'm really excited to see these, and these are due tomorrow. So you need to make sure they get turned in, because I would like to look over them and offer you some feedback. So you're going to go to Google Classroom and go to the classwork tab, and then find the assignment that is labeled pre-writing for my short story. So it's a graphic organizer. So let's go ahead and look at that graphic organizer. All right, so if you look at this graphic organizer, again, it is pre-writing for your short story. The directions are, I want you to think about the following elements of a short story and decide how your short story will be written. Okay, so first of all, you've already kind of thought about this as we went through the Nearpod together, but I want to know, are you planning to write a story that is fictional, right? That is made up, that is from your imagination? Or do you plan to write a story that is nonfiction, that is made up of real events and real people? So you want to go ahead and write that here, or type it here. Next, you need to decide which type of external conflict you will have your main character experience. So will it be character versus character versus nature, or character versus society? I want you to choose one of these and type it here. Next, the setting, right? Where will your story be set? What's the time period of your story? What city or country, or like I said, could it be outer space even? Absolutely. I want you to put your ideas here and be descriptive, right? The more information you can have about your setting, the better off you will be when you actually go to write your short story. Okay, the next thing is the main character. Who is going to be your main character? Think about that, right? This is the character that the whole story will center around. This character is of utmost importance, and this character most likely will be the hero, right? The protagonist of the story. So what will your main character's name be? I want you to put your name here, whichever name that you'd like to name your character. And then I want you to think of some personality traits of your main character. So is this person shy? Is this person outgoing? Is this person funny, sarcastic? Are they a leader, a born leader? Are they energetic? Are they smart? Are they intelligent? Right? So I want you to think about those things. What are some personality traits? And then what about the age of your character? I really want you to think about this, because that can make a huge difference on your whole story, right? The story as a whole. So what will be the age of the main character, of your main character? And then what internal struggle will your character face, right? And when you think of an internal struggle, you need to think about, you know, what is it in their mind that they're struggling with? Is it, you know, to be good, or to make good choices or to make bad choices, to be the hero or to not be the hero? Maybe it's something they're just confused about in life. So I want you to think about that and give me some responses here. So again, this is due by the end of the day, and so make sure you get that taken care of and turned in, and so I can give you some feedback. Okay, well, that is it for today's lesson. So please be sure to ask me if you have any questions. Reach out, right? So you can reach out via email, via Remind, via Google Hangouts, and then I can answer those questions. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day.